January 1973. Kissimmee, Florida, the Brahman Inn, $50 a week. I'd only been there maybe 3 weeks, still learning how to stretch a dollar thin. Me and a girl from back in Indiana, trying to disappear and start again. Christmas lights still hung on palm trees, half burned out along the road. Cool enough that locals wore jackets, tourists still barefoot in flip-flops. The Coke machine stayed mostly empty, ice machine shaking through the walls. Country music from a cheap transistor somewhere farther down the hall. I went downstairs to cool off a while, couldn't sleep and couldn't think. 3 men sitting near the television, coffee cups beside their drinks. One wore boots, worn smooth at the bottoms. One cup matches from the draft, and one looked barely past 30 years old, though nothing in his face looked young. I figured they were tired working men, drifting where the highway bends, just passing time in a roadside motel, waiting for the day to end. And Nixon came across that television, and nobody moved an inch. Even the woman at the front desk stopped with a pencil halfway down her list. Frank folded up his newspaper carefully, like habit mattered after all those years. Creases sharp across his khaki trousers, gray hair cut close around the ears. Said he landed somewhere nearly half, not long after turning 18. And every loud sound still reached him quicker than it reached the rest of me. His brother died somewhere in the Pacific. Frank still carried his picture around, tucked inside an old brown leather wallet, soft and thin at the corners now. When the ice machine kicked on sudden, his hand tightened around the cup, and he looked back toward the television like he'd already seen enough. Earl drove freight line south of Orlando, sleeping afternoons inside the cab. Korea froze 2 fingers crooked and left him with a smoker's laugh. Twice divorced and renting weekly, sending money somewhere up north. One of those men who stopped expecting much but still got up and went to work. He chuckled low when Nixon started talking, not loud enough to call it rude. Said Washington changes every few years, people mostly don't. Outside thunder rolled beyond the highway, traffic humming through the rain. But inside that little motel lobby, nobody seemed far away. And I watched those faces by the television, lines cut deep as riverbanks, men carrying years most folks avoid, like boxes nobody wants unpacked. The room smelled faintly of coffee and cigarettes, floor wax and coming rain. And every man there looked like somebody who'd already given more than he planned. Danny barely touched his coffee, sleeves rolled tight above his hands. Small burn scar near his left elbow, faded tattoo on his arm. Couldn't have been much past 30, still built solid through the chest. But every sound outside the lobby pulled his eyes toward the door. Nixon said the troops were coming home now, said peace was finally close. Danny stared straight through the television like he didn't trust those words at all. Then he spoke without looking at anybody, quiet enough you almost missed. Funny how they call it over while boys still come home in pieces. Sitting there beside those veterans, something shifted in my head. I'd spend weeks running toward the future without thinking where those roads had led. One crossed oceans under gunfire, one froze hills nobody mentions now. One came back from jungle weather, still trying to settle himself down. There I sat at 17, safe because my number never came, while 3 different wolves sat in that lobby, listening to the president explain. Now every year when late May rolls around and flags start showing up in yards, I think about that motel lobby and those men carrying those scars. Frank with Europe in his posture, Earl still coughing through his grin, Danny staring through the television like part of him stayed somewhere back then. I was just a runaway kid, too young to understand. But that night beside that black and white television, those men stopped looking old. The Brahman Inn, January 1973, January 1973.